His contemporaries spoke about him as an excellent seaman and a desperate heart. A pirate turned into admiral of the British fleet. A robber became a country's national hero. Such a man was the English seafarer, Francis Drake. Francis Drake was born in 1540 in the English county of Devonshire. He was a firstborn in the big family of a ship priest. From the age of 4, the ship became the house for Francis. Father taught the boy to read and write, but till the end of his life, Drake was particularly excellent neither in reading nor in writing. When the boy was 10 years old, his father helped Francis find the job on the trading ship as a ship's boy. Soon the childless ship owner grew fond of the hard-working and persistent young man. He even bequeathed his sailing ship to him. So at the age of 21, Drake became a captain. Together with his relative Hawkins, he was engaged in the delivery of African slaves to Spanish colonies in Mexico. They exchanged sugar, rum, tobacco, and cotton for a live cargo. In 1567, during the next campaign, the English ships were attacked by the Spanish galleons. Drake's sailing ship was the only one that remained. This event predetermined the further life of the captain. Burning with revenge, he declared his personal war on Spain. 30-year-old Drake began to plunder the Spanish colonies on the Panama Isthmus. He was a brilliant navigator, magnificent in tactics, and aspired to avoid bloodshed. His actions were unpredictable for his enemy. The Spaniards nicknamed him Dragon for his ability to attack unexpectedly. In 1577, Drake conceived the impudent plan of Spanish lands robbery. His goal was the richest Inca's gold depots on the western coast of South America. Spaniards did not assume that pirates would risk passing the dangerous Straits of Magellan, so their local ports were not strongly protected. Drake foresaw it. He applied to the Queen of England for support. Elizabeth, who had been secretly receiving a solid contribution to the treasury from pirates, approved of the plan and appointed Drake rear admiral. She presented him a scarf with words embroidered with gold. "Let the God always keep and direct you." In December 1577, Drake's 3 ships left Plymouth. After 6 months of sailing, the flotilla reached the coast of South America. The seamen overcame the almost impassable Straits of Magellan for only 20 days. In honor of it, Drake renamed his flagship Pelican as Golden Hind. But the Pacific Ocean met the seamen with a severe bi-monthly storm. Drake's ship was carried away far to the south, and he made an involuntary but great discovery. Terra del Fuego was not a part of the unknown continent, but archipelago with the open sea behind. The passage between Terra del Fuego and Antarctica was named later Drake Passage. When the storm calmed down, Francis Drake took the northern direction. He devastated the rich harbors of the Chilean, Peruvian, and Mexican coasts. The rear admiral grasped so-called Golden Galleon, a dream of all pirates. It was a ship that delivered jewelry from the New World. Having filled his holds with loot, Drake directed to England. Expecting an ambush of Spaniards in the south, in the Strait of Magellan, he decided to circle the American continent from the north, finding a pass from the Pacific Ocean into Atlantic. Drake combined carefulness with ambition. He wanted to visit the lands not visited yet by any Englishman. So, he was the first who surveyed the western coast of North America, but the icing of the tackles stopped his search of the northern way. Then, Drake decided to go across the Pacific Ocean, having repeated Magellan's round-the-world trip. In September of 1580, after the 3-year navigation, the Golden Hind was back in native Plymouth. The charges on the campaign were paid back 47 times. Queen Elizabeth had completely covered the external debt of England. Drake became the national hero. The Queen personally visited his ship and knighted Drake right on the deck. The legend has it that having seen Elizabeth, Drake covered his eyes with a hand, pretending that the Queen's shining blinded him. Since then, there has been a custom to return a military salute. When relations between England and Spain had worsened so much to the state of an open war, Drake's squadron suddenly attacked the Spanish port Cadiz and burned 30 galleasses of the enemy. Drake reported to the Queen, "I've put on fire the Spanish king's beard. Elizabeth granted to 48-year-old Drake a rank of vice-admiral of Her Majesty's fleet. In 1588, Spain equipped 130 ships for the conquest of England, having presumptuously named the fleet Invincible Armada. Though military experience and boldness of Vice-Admiral Drake resulted in the utter defeat of the mighty enemy. Meanwhile, England didn't lose any ship. Drake was at the peak of his glory. However then, fortune betrayed the admiral. His unsuccessful trip to Portugal cost him Queen's sympathy. The following campaign to the West Indian coasts was the last for him. On January 28, 1596, Drake died of dysentery. The lead coffin with Francis Drake's body was accepted by the Caribbean Sea. In the same place, the seized Spanish ships were drowned as a tribute to the special respect of the fearless admiral. The impudence and boldness of English pirate Francis Drake put an end to Spanish domination in the great oceans, and his inquisitive mind gave the world important geographical discoveries. Perhaps that's why his most famous portrait is the one on which he is self-confidently leaning against the globe.